Good afternoon, I'm Jodi Daley, and with me is Brian Sharoff, president of PLMA, and we are continuing our direct from the floor coverage of the 2011 Private Label Trade Show. Brian, last day, last chance.
Yes.
Any thoughts about the show?
Well, it has been a long 2 days.
Oh, it has not. It's been great.
Yes, and I think from the faces of the exhibitors that I have seen, some of them made some good business contacts. They are getting ready for follow-ups, trips to their corporate headquarters of their customers. So very encouraging, and I think everybody's looking forward to the next PLMA show.
I know I am, definitely.
Yeah.
But before we get to the next PLMA show, we're going to go right to the floor of this one and our final report from Michael Sansolo.
Good afternoon, Jodi. You know, so often when I'm down here on the exhibit floor, we talk about products that we eat or somehow we use on our bodies. But the truth of this industry is supply chain is critical to all of our success. It's our ability to move products efficiently from one point to another for the lowest cost possible. And that's why I'm here at the iGPS booth. This is really cool. Now, this is a pallet. We all know about pallets because the entire industry runs on pallets. This, though, is an intelligent pallet. First of all, it's made of plastic, so it's a little bit lighter instead of the wood pallets most of us use. But this pallet has built into it 4 RFID chips. RFID are the radio frequency chips that can be used to track where items are. So when you put an item on this pallet and you obviously put in your scan code for it, you can tie that product to this pallet, and should it get lost or misplaced, you can go back through your computer system, the pallet can be found, and you find the product. That's making the supply chain a little bit smarter, a little bit leaner, and another way to cut costs and make private label even more competitive. Come on, Jodi, let's go see some more stuff. All right, Jodi, when we're down here sampling, we don't take much time to think about how many calories we're consuming, but at home we all do that. And that's why I'm down here at Grecian Delight. They've got a bunch of products with easy ways to put flavor in your meals and take calories out. Start with this. This is skinny buns. It's bread, but it's a little lighter, a little thinner. So you're making your sandwich on 90 calories of bread. Great way to save a couple calories. This one I loved. It is flatbread. This one happens to be focaccia flavored. Now, focaccia is a fabulous, fabulous flavor. Explodes in your mouth. Having a packaged product like this, you get all the flavor of focaccia and you get it with convenience. But Jodi, hang on to your socks because here's where it gets really cool. They actually have a chocolate flatbread, and I've got to show you what these guys made with it. This thing is called Chocolate Heaven. It's got peanut butter and marshmallows and strawberries, all made with flatbread, packaged flatbread. So you get fabulous taste, incredible presentation, you save a couple calories, and loads of convenience. All right, Jodi, I've been telling you about all the flavors, the new innovations I like to put in my diet. Here's a confession. Favorite kind of cuisine I like to eat is Indian food. And the reason is, Indian food is actually very low in calorie and loaded with flavor. Well, here at Tasty Bite, they're taking all of those great attributes of Asian cooking, the low in calories and all the health attributes, and making it easy for anyone to be an Indian or an Asian chef. They've got an item here, like this is a tikka masala cooking sauce. With this sauce, you cook up your vegetables, your chicken, whatever it's going to be, you put the sauce on it, and voila, you've made tikka masala. They even do something with rice, Thai lime rice, to take brown rice, which some people don't like the flavor, and this gives it an explosion of Thai seasonings, lime, so you really get something great going on in your mouth. Jodi, one of the hottest nutrition trends of the last probably 2-3 years has been Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt has a slightly more robust taste than regular yogurt, and it's got a lot more nutrients. So for every spoonful, you're getting just tons more of the good stuff of yogurt. Well, down here at Yogo Cakes, what they're doing is they're using yogurt in the baking of cakes. By having yogurt replace other dairy products, it makes for a healthier cake. And you can see it comes in all different varieties. Down here on our platter, we've got both blueberry muffins and what they're calling their tuxedo with real chocolate chips. Now, Jodi, I've got a piece of the blueberry. Jodi, this really is the best job going. This is just delicious. Greek yogurt in cakes, how can you ask for more? Jodi, every year I love doing this part of my job because I get to come eat great food and tell you all about it, and you're stuck up there. get on down here. Let's have a cake together. Jodi, back to you and bon appetit.
Thanks, Michael. Behind the products, there were some other issues making themselves felt at the show this year, and packaging was one. It's become very important to the success of store brands. Len Lewis talked with Jim George, Education Director of the Institute of Packaging Professionals. He moderated a special seminar on packaging during the Sunday seminars.
Jim, is packaging a way to keep up the momentum in private label sales?
Most definitely, and for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's a way for consumers to understand the nuances between different products and select a product that's right for them. Another very important concept is that for a lot of brands, the package is the only means of communication between them and the consumer. So that particular touch point for the consumer is exceptionally important, and the package, I think, is the best way to do it.
What did the panel say about new packaging design as a way to boost online sales?
The panel saw packaging as a way to bridge the traditional front door of going through the bricks and mortar store with the increasingly emerging front door of shopping online. Through technology, smart technology such as QR codes. That creates a community that allows consumers to shop both in the store and online and be able to bridge that communication together and create a community with the brand.
Jim, new printing technology. What's the consensus of the panel on that?
Okay. The consensus is digital printing is the wave of the future. It's got some advantages on shelf. It's a way for products to keep themselves fresh and current in the consumer's face as they see, for example, new types of product varieties introduced and then phased out very quickly. Also on the back end, it provides some very real advantages in terms of collaborative effort, waste reduction, and overall efficiency in bringing products to shelf faster and more cost effectively.
Thanks, Len. Another subject up for discussion this year was social media. There have been numerous articles recently in the business press about the opportunities offered by social media, and this subject got a big boost when Walmart signed an agreement earlier this year with Facebook. David Merrifield talked with John Berry, Vice President at GFK Research, about the social media and store brands.
Jodi, you're certainly right that social media is grabbing a lot of attention lately. Some people think it is revolutionizing behavior and communications. Others think it is a medium in search of a message. I spoke with John Berry, a Vice President of GFK Roper Consulting, who is following the social media phenomenon. John, what's attracting marketers to this relatively new medium?
Social media has been, in our research, by far the fastest growing portion of the internet, and of course that makes it naturally an area of real intense interest among marketers.
What's in it for the consumer? Why should they be interested in this kind of marketing?
What we are finding in our research is that consumers, for their part, have a pretty clear idea about why to like a brand. And the number one reason, when you get that access into the brand's information, is to find out about how to save money.
Do you really see social media as a form of word of mouth?
Yeah, it's been described as being like word of mouth on steroids.
What can store brand retailers tell consumers on social media?
Store brands are not just about price. The quality has gone up dramatically. The sort of the brand imagery and the interface engagement with consumers has gone up. There might be other hooks that you can draw people in with and create conversations about. I talked about organics and natural. That might be one, something that a lot of people, particularly young moms, young people, are interested in.
What cautionary advice applies to marketers' use of social media?
Don't ask people to do things that they wouldn't do in any other public setting.
Social media is still in its early days. How will use of the medium change in the future?
For a couple of years there, consumers jumped in with both feet into social media. Now there's sort of a sense after spending some time with it that it's great for some things, but I don't really want to spend all my life on it. And the people are telling us that they're pulling back and they're trying to be more efficient about it. And they don't really want to know, they don't care so much like where you had coffee this morning on the way to work, or what kind of tie you're wearing today, or the sort of the trivial details of life. So make it important information that you share with consumers.
The bottom line is that social media holds out the opportunity for advertisers to reach consumers at relatively low cost. But it's also necessary to have a way to interact with consumers to make sure the message is getting through. Back to you, Jodi.
Thanks, David. Well, what were the international exhibitors offering on the show floor this year? Our own Dr. Kanta Shelke, who covers science and technology for PLMALive, is here with us now, and she's got what she found. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
I
you.
have to say hello too.
You
Yes,
do?
it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
How are you? Good to
I'm
see you.
fine. Hello, Brian.
Nice
So
to meet
you scoured the floors. What did you find?
I found a couple of things. Number one, the private label sector is aligned with the mainstream brands. They just can do it better, they can do it cheaper, and that's their message to the retailers. There was something else, and that was different, something innovative. And it was along the lines of simplicity. And it came to us from overseas. Our international visitors brought to us because someone forgot to tell them that we were being conservative, so they went all out and brought us some unusual products that are just perfect for our consumers today who want something innovative, elegant, and simple.
Do you have some samples?
Yes, I do.
Oh, let's see them.
This is what we live for, samples.
Oh my,
The
oh
first
my,
one.
oh my, yeah. What is this?
This is olive oil, pure olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, simply in a can, no additives. So when you turn the labels, it says pure oil, no other ingredients.
Now, are these like something you would spray on a pan, like a coating or something?
So that you can spray on a pan, you can spray a coating, you can actually spray onto your salad, control the amount of oil that you add, and the ingredient, the oil is in a plastic bag, there's compressed air outside. So there are no propellants in this product.
And what's the shelf life of something like this?
Because the oil is contained, it never sees the air, the shelf life is very, very long. The oil never gets rancid.
And you don't have to refrigerate it. And that's awesome, that's beautiful. I like the packaging too.
Okie dokie.
What's your next little find?
The next one is also in keeping with American consumers' desire for no preservatives and nothing artificial. So what we have here is pound cake. Now generally pound cake is packaged where you have 2/3 cake and 1/3 cream. This particular product is made by Freddy in Italy, and it's turned the rule around so you have 2/3 cream and 1/3 cake.
Yowzer.
As a result, you don't have to add any preservatives, and the product has a 9-month shelf life. And instead of the long packages, now you have just enough for 1 or 2 helpings.
Oh no, that's one in my family. That's a half a helping in my family. I think
But
I'm going to have to take both of these home.
Absolutely no preservatives and additives.
These are great.
Simply sugar.
So these are both Italian company made.
They're both Italian companies.
Okay, so these from Italy so far. Do we have any other parts of the world?
Yes. And from Quebec. So this is maple syrup. People love maple syrup, but they're also very concerned because it's often knocked off. There's so many fake maple syrups in the market. So decassé.
You don't have
You're really good.
You don't have any pancakes that you could perhaps bring out.
Wait a minute, but you don't mean like just add water. These are supposed to be used this way.
Yes, this is supposed to be used this way.
These are delicious.
As part of a treat on a cereal, on granola, on a granola bar. They can be baked into cookies. They maintain their shape. They can be added to ice cream. They maintain the shape, yet you have that crunch. And a little bit of maple goes a long way because of the way it melts in your
delicious.
mouth.
Wow, I'm
Brian,
telling
it's
you,
delicious,
this-
isn't it?
I'm having this for breakfast tomorrow morning.
Well, if it lasts that
Wow.
long from where you're doing.
Super duper.
Very unique technology, but only maple sugar can be compressed into this.
Oh.
That's amazing. Well, so we went to Quebec, and then we've also. Why bother passing them over? You know you're going to take them back as soon as you leave.
Well, these are mine. This is yours.
Well, Kanta, thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate it. And so the message is simple elegance,
Simple elegance and
Just-
back to nature.
just like you. Thank you so
very
much. Well, I guess that's almost about it. I think we have a couple hours left of the show, and then the carpenters and electricians are going to start taking down the exhibit booths later, and the manufacturers are all going to start loading up their samples, except, of course, for these. And I think you're going to want to take these home. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, you know, it's always a little nostalgic to watch the carpenters taking apart the stands and the carpenter, the rolling up of the carpet. I mean, for 2 days, this world has been created of exhibitors and retailers, and There's a bonding that goes on, and it's really lovely to see. And then suddenly, it all comes down. Well, I used to think that that was a sad moment, but I said to one of the exhibitors, you know, well, the show is over. And he said, oh, no. He said, now we have to go out and call on all of those retailers who left us cards, and we have to talk to people, because now the tough job starts. We have to sell everything we promised. So people in the show have a busy year ahead of them. You and I have lots of things we have to do. And I really thank you for these.
You're welcome, because I'm taking these.
Yeah, I'm going to eat them for breakfast tomorrow morning.
Right, on the plane.
Anywhere I can.
Well, everybody out there, please have a very safe trip wherever you're going. And we can't thank you enough for joining us here on PLMA Live. And please come back again, not only next year, but join us on PLMALive.com. And you can catch up to all the things that we're doing with the products that we're stealing from the show. Anyway, thanks so much for being with us. And for Brian and myself, have a wonderful, wonderful day.